Why modern women struggle. A look at the problems in modern feminism. Hello everybody, and welcome to One Mail. In this video, I want to talk about an issue that I think is important, which is the problems with modern feminism. A lot of people might not know this, but feminism has changed a lot in the past few years, and it's causing a lot of problems for women. I'm going to break down some of these issues and show you how modern feminism is hurting women more than helping them. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this in the future. I had planned to write an article about Candace Owens' hypocrisy in attacking Instagram hoochie mamas who post photos of themselves wearing little to no clothing online. She claims they do it because women are addicted to the dopamine rush that comes with receiving male attention, even if it does not offer them happiness. After all, they already have a high dopamine level in their system. Instead, she discovers how simple it is to reject an empowered mindset. We live in an attention economy, and although I recognize that not all attention is created equal, telling someone not to strip for clicks is the same as telling someone who isn't getting any attention. Although I recognize that not all awareness is created equal, the great majority of women fail to attract the attention of a large gathering of people. They usually draw the most excellent attention by dangling their bodies in front of them like a steak on a camera or putting the male half of their body on their lips instead of many words in their mouth. One example is Candace Owens' method of cramming long syllables into her mouth. When I see Candace Owens, I can't help but think of Oprah Winfrey. She is endowed with humor, gravitas, and a charming personality. White people overwhelmingly favor her. On the other hand, I find her views ludicrous, such as her claim that these women will not be happy due to receiving messages from men. Where on earth did this woman go? Women were created to be the center of attention. They usually settle for negative attention if they cannot receive positive attention. In essence, they seek a sense of belonging. The worst thing that can happen to a woman is apathy, not hostility. When you're 85 years old and sitting in an old house with half-empty depends and dentures, it's every woman's worst nightmare to be disregarded, as if it doesn't matter what you're saying or doing. Candace Owens considers a difficulty that women confront in today's society, which I shall explain. Women who have affairs with men are referred to as manned feminists rather than female feminists. Men are not welcome to join the opposition. Dopamine is a potent drug produced by our bodies to stimulate us to perform more of the activities required for survival. The conservative who is unaware she is addicted to dopamine, and the clown global show dopamine is a potent neurotransmitter produced by our bodies. Dopamine-inducing activities have long been regarded to be beneficial for attracting the attention of others, which would raise one's status in the hierarchy. Citation required, citation needed, citation required. This increases the possibility of your seeds being grown and distributed to others. Dopamine is a natural reward you receive when you form social ties with other people because it causes the release of dopamine. Candace Owens appeals to a conservative audience that strongly dislikes those on the left and believes in the stereotype of the untapped tattooed lady. Moreover, wanders off to make sandwiches and a sundress as you strip her, but only use since she was a virgin when she kissed you with her white or, in Candace Owens' case, black skin. Candace Owens is well known for derogatory remarks regarding women's attractiveness, such as lipstick on or off. What was the significance of her odd attire? She considers the ladies who twerk and humiliate themselves by wearing very little or nothing. She claims that the type of men drawn to such women is just interested in having sexual experiences with them. However, a substantial proportion of them ladies employs those men as their sims to obtain attention. She is correct that our contemporary culture is damaging, but she utterly ignores the reality that our reliance on technology adds to our dopamine addiction. To maintain a consistent supply of dopamine, you must stop the process entirely or reproduction must be reformed. They are oblivious that traditionalism is falling faster than the Titanic, and that the more churches close, the more people become enamored with their cell phones. People will increasingly worship at the altar of the iChurch as society crumbles, carrying all of the church's applications in their pockets. The fact that Steve Jobs is the world's most adept medicine seller will likely be his most important legacy for millennia. We are oblivious to it because we are so engrossed in the newness of our latest gadgets. Candace goes on a rampage in the video, alleging that patriarchy is expected everywhere and blaming it on teaching feminism in schools. She also says that schools teach feminism. If you are a woman intending to come out in the meanwhile, you should know that the solution to your question about outsiders will relate to equality in fourth wave feminism. It is about training women to loathe men and make women nervous, which she is entirely correct about. Nevertheless, I believe this is just a ruse to promote traditional values. On the other hand, most women are astute enough to recognize that women have always wielded hidden power throughout history and now seek overt authority. Even though she claims that first-wave feminism was acceptable and that women's ability to vote was beneficial, she concedes that this is true. Many traditionally successful women want to maintain all of feminism's achievements. They made it to the 1970s, but didn't want to take any more chances because they were like casino card players with trainers who advised them when to pay out and call it a night. Candace's claim that first-wave feminism was about assisting women in leaving the house and entering the labor force is an erroneous portrayal of the movement. We did not push women to work instead of stay at home until the second wave of feminism. Thus, she is correct in noting that it did not happen before then. Feminism promotes the notion that patriarchal society enslaves typical women. She claims that the primary goal of the first wave of feminism was to give women the right to express themselves. On the other hand, the second and third waves of feminism are centered on the premise that feminists should make decisions about how women should live their lives for them. Furthermore, she claims you cannot think your way out of your biology. I must respectfully disagree with you. McDonald's appeared to have fulfilled this mission as soon as we entered the first and second stages of the red pill's rage. Megtal was an abomination to her. Your most harmful attack would be if she, like most other women, claimed that men solely practice feminism. Naturally, the goal would be to persuade traditionalists that it was on the same side as feminism. Yet, she would struggle to explain why, since Megtal supports it, the left despises it the way traditionalists do. She'd have a hard time explaining why. She encourages women to be thrilled by men rather than hate them. She states that today's men are terrible because masculinity is portrayed as old-fashioned. Even as the left loses institutional control in schools and governments, she encourages women to be joyful about men. But unfortunately, she has never worked in a male-dominated sector, such as house building. Therefore, she is unable to see that masculinity is not a quaint concept. She'll probably find out when she goes to her local grocery shop and discovers that the shelves are empty due to antibacterial products. Furthermore, she claims that feminism is faulty because it teaches women to behave in ways that are diametrically contrary to what men want. They are only interested in males, not women who are beautiful to men. Because there aren't enough other ladies, the youngsters feel that females aren't attractive enough to bring back to their mothers. Many men find these women physically attractive, but do not regard them as possible mates for having children. That is one area where we may agree to differ. You can find that type of woman pretty much any place. I lost interest in continuing to watch the film when she mentioned that men should take on leadership responsibilities. I couldn't bring myself to do it after that. Candace is also incorrect when she claims that a man does not want a lady who is always naked. This is a false statement. For the benefit of all males, I didn't give a damn about women ripping their clothes off and sleeping around until roughly 2014 and 2015, yet I still believed myself to be on the left. This remark has been made public so that all males can view it. However, as my ideals began to clash with those of the left, I began to speak about sensual freedom challenges and how having too many lovers was emotionally detrimental to women. Nudity isn't a problem if it's not done erotically or sexually. Still, it is women who give too much intimacy to tie down a guy who is a threat to society and themselves, and who may then try to prove their fresh goodness and morality by singling out feminism as wicked in the Bible as having all the answers. Still, women give too much closeness to tie down a man who is a menace to society and themselves. What could be more devilish than teaching men and women that they have equal access and that the dream of equality is a myth? But I see things from a different perspective. In my opinion, the left and the right are two sides of the same coin. The one side sends out virtue signals about how they are religiously devout and have high moral standards, while the other side sends out virtue signals about how great they are at social justice. The problem with modern women is that they continue to promote the impression that it's us versus them. There would be peace and progress if women went on a sexual strike, but they can't since they want it just as much as we do while refusing to engage in the left and right. This keeps them from engaging in a sexual strike. Women, on the other hand, are not allowed to have that edge since they are needed to divert male attention by playing both parts for both sides. I'm going to talk about a critical topic that many people don't seem to understand. Many men out there make the mistake of trusting what women say without watching their actions and get burned. I'm going to break down exactly why this happens and how you can avoid it. So make sure to check out my video diving deeper into this topic. You will be glad that you did.